Hey guys, Fat Man Tolly, and we're back. Sitting in my reloading press, figured I'd do a tad bit of reloading and kind of show you the process along the way. This will be multi-part, so don't be surprised. This is my Lee. It's a single stage breech lock press. Like everything else I do it on a budget. Bought this kit, a while back. I think I paid like 98 bucks for the whole kit. Came with the press, scale, powder measure, primers for both small and large primers. It came with everything I needed to get started. Along the way I picked up a brass tumbler at Cabela's. I caught it at the right time, caught it on sale. It was a kit, so it came with a brass separator, a bag of media, polish, everything. It's all set to go to tumble my brass. And I think I want to say it was like 35 bucks for the whole kit. Got my press is bolted to my bench. And I've got a pile of brass that I've already tumbled. This is all 45 ACP. I keep all my brass in a bowl, which seems kind of silly, but at this point I'm gonna deprime everything and show you that process. Here is my resizing and decapping die. I got the lock ring on it, so it's all set and ready to go for the way I like to load. And we just screw it on down. There, start a little bit of the press here. This press, you can buy these collars. There's a button here, you push the button down, give it a little bit of a turn. You can take the collar out. So that's kind of cool. You can just screw your dies. You can buy extra collars, they're not that expensive. I'm cheap, again I'm on a budget. But the die can go in there. And you're about 1/8 of a turn away from your hole here. And you just stick it in there, turn it until the button pops back up, and you're good to go. So like I said, I've already, my dies are already set. Put in my shell holder. I'm right-handed, so I pull the lever with my right hand. I put everything in there with my left. Some people, the media that I'm using now is kind of dusty, would take a case like this. Now let's see if I can get this to zoom in a little bit. That's a little out of whack like that. I don't know, you can't tell real well, I guess. Zoom it back out. And I'll chuck it. There really isn't anything wrong with that. This is all range pickup, so I know it is all once fired. This is Remington brass. You can tell by the head stamp. But once you run it through and you decap, I forgot to put my arm in there, it comes back out nice and round. So we'll hang on to it because there's nothing wrong with that brass. There is an arm, the primer arm needs to be in there. Doesn't matter which one at this point. That's my small primer arm. But then my process, I'll go through, and the way this press works, I resize, pops the primer out. Primer comes out this little hole right down into here and goes into this tube, which is just plugged in down here. When it's full, you dump it out. Pretty simple. There's nothing real hard about resizing brass. As I'm going along, as I grab a case, I'm feeling it to make sure there's no nicks, weirdness in it. And if I can find it, I have a piece of brass that I had one day. I ran it, I actually almost didn't catch it. I inspect my brass at each and every stage of my reloading process. So I'm inspecting it now. The next time it goes into the press, it gets inspected again. Well, that media is dusty, but it does an okay job. I've got a mix here of nickel and brass. Now the handle just fell off. Now this case will be a prime example. It's got a dent in it. I won't use that case. So I'm going to set that aside. Grab my ball handle here. I should glue the stupid thing on. Put that back on. And I'm just going to go through all of this brass and, all the same way. I pull it out. I check. That's the wrong caliber. I keep another bucket of other brass down there. That was 40 Smith & Wesson. And there's another piece. When I get done with all my prep, I'm a little disorganized here. My apologies. I have this little tool, and it came with the press, and it's for cleaning primer pockets. Now if you clean your primer pockets, now 45 ACP comes with large primer and small primer. I've made a habit because of that of going through and cleaning all my brass. If I run into small primer, it goes into another spot. But I resize and deprime everything. Then I go through and I hit it all with the pocket cleaner, and pretty much you just stick it in there and spin it around a little bit, blow it out, you got a nice clean primer pocket. So that's what there is to that. I'm going to go ahead and resize and deprime all of this. Exactly what you see me doing here. Same process. And then I'll go through and clean all my primer pockets. And I'll come back when we're ready to move on to the next step. This is a single stage press. It is a little time consuming. A lot of people don't like using them because they're time consuming. I think that last piece I just threw in there was small primer. But you know what? Got more time than money. So with that said, I'll be back in a little bit here when we're ready to move on to the next step. And along the way I'll try to find some of those other cases that I saved, just so I know what kind of stuff I'm looking for. I'll show them to you. This one that I've got that I ran through already that's got a dent in it, that would increase the pressure inside there, so you don't want to do that either. But I'll get back with you in a few minutes here.